All right, Shalom. Like start off saying, Call Halayim La Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shem Harakakodash Maman. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great Muslim, double honors to our elder apostles as well, Harawan Ban Yasharala, down here in the Lions camp. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. I'm Khalak Ban Yasharala from the Lions of the Yasharala camp. There's this quick, hopefully hydrating news and prophecy. Um, and yeah, that's just it. It's dealing with this interstellar comet 3I Atlas carries unusually high life building molecules. See that? And they want to keep referencing it as a comet, but we believe that it could be a fleet of chariots. You know, because if you think about it, you know, when it's Yahweh's going to send Yahweh Shai at the moment that when he enters into the Earth's atmosphere, it's going to be at perfect timing. I mean, I'm sure he could click his fingers and what I'm saying, boom, and the angels end up there. But no, I wouldn't think that Yahweh he could, but like I think the journey that it takes to get from where that part in the fourth dimension that they're at to transition into our solar system is going to take amount of time. And I think that Yahweh's going to send Yahweh Shai at that moment that he knows he will show up right there at the nick of time. Um, you see a lot of things moving around real fast in the earth. Prophecies really coming to pass. You see the stage being set up. Um, um, People like he's going to assemble a similar nations against Babylon the Great. Meaning he was going to send fanners to Babylon, meaning enemies. And then another lesson I got to do where it talks about how China, like, so apparently, allegedly, the U.S. seized another Venezuelan oil tanker, and China was like upset about it and saying um, what America is doing is inhumane and against international law, and basically saying that the United States should be prosecuted for it. All right, so that's going to be in another article, but dealing with this, the Three Eye Atlas. And this pattern of movement, it's not like any other thing they've seen enter in our solar system or outside the solar system. So let's get it. Let's Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 1, it says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written on paper, because they are faithful and true. Right. So we're speaking the words of prophecy. And how is this prophetic? Because even if it isn't a fleet of chariots is still a sign, and the signs that in the heavens is part of prophecy. This is Luke chapter 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring. Aren't we seeing that right now? Especially with what's going on in the with R2 Swan and Three Eye Atlas, you know? So these are signs that are in the heaven, man. All right, let's go to this article real quick. It says Interstellar Comet 3I Atlas was the third visitor to our solar system from outside the solar system. Astronomers took great interest in it, studying its composition and details. A recent observations found something interesting. The comet was ejecting materials that were significant to the formation of life. See that? There's only one creator that I know. You know, Yahweh Shah was given the blueprint in the creation of all things to do all things from Yahweh. You see that? So who knows what that substance or those things are? That's what I'm saying. So basically, this whatever this thing is, it has material or a composition to create life. Don't no comet ever have that. And they can't name now another meaning like you can mean the sun because things grow up the sun. Like, the sun is essential for light. I mean for life. But Well, let's go further. It says the comet was ejecting materials that were significant to the formation of life. According to the new scientists, it was ejecting carbon-rich chemical compounds at much higher rates than similar objects. One of the elements observed was methanol, a key ingredient to probiotic chemistry, not seen in other interstellar objects. See that? This is different, man. They don't know what this is. They don't know. They don't. They hate to come to the realization and say what it could be. Like they don't want to say it's the chariots of the Lord. They don't want to say, any other time they be hollering UFO this, UFO that. Oh, the government's hiding UFO, but now it's just a comet doing all this stuff. You know, it says it says these elements are observed as a result of sublimation due to their proximity to the sun. It says as the interstellar object approach closer to the sun, the heat turned various materials on its surface active. Yo, 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 wasn't that Superman was one that used to go get energized from the sun? I think Silver Surfer was another one. Let me see. Hold on, real quick. Okay, it says the Silver Surfer powers granted by the Power Cosmic are deeply tied to the absorbing of and manipulating energy, including electromagnetic energy from stars like the sun. See that? A few years ago, like we already know who the superheroes in these Marvel, they get it from the scriptures, man. They get all that stuff you see about superheroes, Hancock, and all that. They get it from the scriptures, man. So how coincidental is this? Is how the sun activated, just like it does with Superman, just like it does with Silver Surfer, activated something on this interstellar object that they've never seen before since existence. Explain that one for it to be a comet. You see that? It says, I read it again. It says, as the interstellar object approached closer to the sun, the heat turned various materials on its surface active. It created a layer of water vapor and gas, which also extended into its tail. This covering also contained more carbon dioxide than any other solar system comets. See that? This unusual surface chemistry also turned the comet's light red. See, it's starting to change colors now. The sublimation indicated that the comet had not been in contact with another star for hundreds of millions of years or since leaving its own system. See, they don't even know how long it's been. Talking about hundreds of million years. That's why they put that or leaving its own system in there. It's stupid. It says the Atomica Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array in Chile was used to find that 3I Atlas was producing major amounts of hydrogen cyanide gas. What is that? It says hydrogen cyanide is a chemical compound with the formula HCN and structural formula HC H-C equals N. It is a highly toxic and flammable liquid that boils slightly above room temperature. Damn, damn. HCN is produced on an industrial scale and is a highly valued precursor to to many chemical compounds ranging from polymers and pharmaceuticals. Large-scale applications are for the position of potassium cyanide. All right, so this is so so now they're debating in this. They're debating if it's an organic compound, but this 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 chariot right here is creating this. Hmm. It says it says knews.com noticed that Martin Cardiner, a NASA Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland, and a team also found larger amounts of gaseous methanol. Molecules like hydrogen cyanide and methanol are at a trace of abundance and not the dominant con- consistence of our own comets. See there? Said Gardiner, coordinator. It said here we see that actually in this alien comet they're very abundant. The hydrogen cyanide gas was being ejected from quite close to the comet's rocky core. Methanol was discovered in the core, but was also produced in major quantities in the comet's coma. The gaseous hydrogen cyanide was being ejected at around a quarter of a half of a kilogram per second. Clues to elements of a world behind the system. See, a world behind the system, man. New heaven and new earth. We're in the world of righteousness, setting up a new kingdom, man. It says that's the great joy of interstellar object. They're giving us clues. Yeah, it's a sign. But what is it a clue of? It says because they're made up of the building blocks of planet formation elsewhere in the galaxy. They're telling us about the stars that's so ancient it might not even exist anymore. Associated Professor Michael Bannister from the School of Physical and Chemical Science at the Ware Winnebago at Wichita University in Canterbury used in a statement the production of rate of methanol has increased from August through October, according to the IFL scientists. Were also quick to address that the comet did not support life of materials found were components that were building blocks of life. All right, so they're saying they didn't see any life on there. But see, now they're trying to go into just the comet. But here's the thing, man. Like, let's read it again. This is on Luke 21:25. It says, there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. See there? This is a sign. They can try to downplay it all they want to, but now they have evidence showing that this thing is giving off chemical compounds that are essential to the creation of life form itself. Meaning, so it came from something metabolistic. It came from another life form. Just because they can't see the life forms that are inside those vessels, you see what I'm saying? Doesn't mean they're not there. You know? Who knows, man? We believe it's a fleet of chariots. Because there's a lot more, like there's a lot more to it than this. Like it's supposed to go past the Earth and catch in Jupiter's atmosphere and then boomerang like back past Earth again. And so who knows the reason why it goes back? So maybe they gain more force into entering the Earth's atmosphere. Because the solar system, the Lord has a solar system set up the way like the Earth not only has a gravitational pull, but it has a gravitational force that repels things away from the Earth so the planets don't collide together. So it takes a certain amount of force for anything to really enter or exit our atmosphere. So who knows why it's going past Earth and catapulting, like slingshotting back, going to Jupiter, slingshotting back towards Earth. Who knows, man? But Lord willing, this lesson edify to serve its purpose for the hope of elect, the ones that truly believe in the name Yahweh Shema Shai. With that, I'd like to say, Call Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Harakak Wadash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, double honors to my older apostles as well, her one, Bar Yasharala, down here in the Lions and Camp. Salutations to the icon that are pushing the truth to sincerity and truth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom.